This is our third day and morning session. It's a beautiful day today, absolutely beautiful. And let's see, you can see our girl out here. Is she too close to the, I think she's just barely, that's her shadow right there. She's just barely off screen, but I believe she will be on screen soon. Oh, all right. Nice. So today, I go on into moving our bodies a little bit. Yesterday, we had some chargy moments where she, some posturing and kind of diving in towards me, and made some really great progress with that. But because of that, I kind of want to begin today from a more feely place rather than asking her to ground. I'm going to let her move her body a little bit and stay in more of a flowy state. Nice. This is very nice. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Very well done. Need to pick out this poop first, don't I? Pick out a couple of poop piles before we get to going too much. All right, get those two in a bit. Go back over to this side. Nice. I am going to walk that neutral circle just a bit. Just don't want her thinking that she needs to shoot away from me. So this is that spot where she's nice. Nice. She just gets a little confused about my guidance, more so on the right. And when she feels guarded, she has a tendency to push me out of the way. Nice. So we're going to do what we can here just at a walk. Oh, there was a little bit of one right there. I think when we come back around to that spot, I'm going to just gently guide that shoulder away. Can see her wanting to kind of dive into me. And push that shoulder away. Nice. And then let's go this way. We're going to use that outside turn to our advantage right now. Work on pushing the shoulder away. Like that. Pushing that shoulder away. Nice. So when we're learning something new, especially something that's hard, this is kind of hard, really helps for it to be real black and white, lots of contrast. Lots of contrast. You can see her, that lower lip is pinched all the way up into a little wrinkle. She says, oh, I'm not sure about you guiding me around. That directing the thoughts is a little triggering. I would like to be able to do this in softness, but I also want to be able to do it when she's kind of on the muscle, because the truth is when she's in that space of thinking about coming at me, she's already on the muscle in her body. So if I'm trying to wait until she's soft and calm before I cue in any way, then what I end up doing is not actually communicating with the horse that's in front of me. The horse that's in front of me is more tense and feeling defensive. And yes, that's because she doesn't understand. This is how she knows to communicate. So in that way, certainly that's true. And I need to be able to meet her where she's at, you know? I can't always count on being able to have her soften back to a place of being all mushy and calm and communicating with her only there. Nice. This way, that way's easier for her than this way. So this time, instead of kind of waiting for her to dive bomb in at me, I'm going to go ahead and ask that shoulder to move away. Just let her be assuming that when I ask something of her, it's probably going to be to push that shoulder away. Might be the opposite of what one might want to do in a stage of gentling where we're excited for first touches and things like that. But this is definitely an important part. So I'm just going to keep this really simple. Nice. Just going to amble along with her. And then every so often, I'm going to ask her for an outside turn. So see how right here when I came up inside, she's, there we go. Nice. Girl. I'm just looking for her to soften into this, to be able to get to that place where when she feels tight and I reach out to her into that place, she softens into my guidance. It's not really what exists right now, but that's where we're headed. So I like that she's kind of thinking about turning into the rail right now. I'd rather her be thinking about that than thinking about diving into me. But I also want to go back to that place where she's having those thoughts come up, because that's the place we need to, it's that intersection that we need to be having a conversation at. Nice. All right, so here, ask that. Nice. Well done. Well done. And see how much that inside ear is on me, and she's has a little bit of a vascule to her neck. Kind of feel that intensity in her body. Nice. Well done, you. I love how free she is in her whole body. Just like every step she takes just feels like the muscles are like allowing her to move. Nice. Nice lick and chew. Well done. Well done. Oh, that was very well done. Very well done. I think it's really important that we don't take anything personal ever, but especially when horses are being aggressive. It's easier to feel compassion for them when they're just scared. And oftentimes when they are being aggressive or dominant or coming at us, we don't really think of that as being, sometimes we don't think of that as being afraid. You know, maybe that's being bold and taking charge, and but it's still fear. I mean, she's doing it because she is afraid of the unknown, and I am unknown. So when she charges towards me like that, or even does that little bit of posturing where she's thinking about charging, all of that is still based on fear. So if I come at her from a place of anger and, you know, rage, even because I'm feeling defensive about her trying to attack me, and I'm throwing that same attack type of energy back at her, you know, then maybe I'm able to get her to leave, maybe not, but it's a different kind of conversation than is my intention. So by all means, I want to be able to block that quality of energy. I want to be able to put up a wall, you know, like that says, well, or like this, that says, you know, that you don't go through that spot. But I want my wall to be just a wall. It's nothing. There's no anger. There's no the wall is not attacking her. The wall is just a wall. The wall would be like if I could carry around a fence panel. If I was able to carry around a fence panel and all of a sudden put the fence panel in front of her face, nice, and have her, if she didn't stop, she'd run into the fence panel, right? That way would be very simple. So it's really more that quality that I'm thinking about and feeling into and intending when I make this wall for her. It's not a throwing energy at her. It's a putting a boundary up right here that she learns that she's not supposed to go through. So I think that can look sometimes, maybe it's a subtle difference. You know, me directing energy at her versus making a wall beside in front of her. But it's a very important difference. And at the root of it, it comes down to my intentions and how I'm feeling about her, about our relationship. Nice. That was very nice. Letting her just slip into a comfortable place with this pattern. Her just knowing that when I ask something, if she'll just softly change direction, that's going to be the right answer. That's directing her thought for sure. Anytime we're guiding the shoulders, we're steering. That's your steering wheel. The gas pedal is just energy from behind, but your shoulders are your steering wheel. So I want her to be able to be very clear about my use of communicating with this steering wheel and comfortable in that clarity. Well done. Basically, I'm just coming up just in front of her eye and then waving the stick up and down. Not really at her. Remember, I'm not directing the energy at her. I'm creating a wall in front of her. And I'm just going to do this at the walk until I feel like she's just really settled into it. And that may be all we do this morning. I don't know. I don't know if we'll go up to a trot or not. We shall see. I would like for this to feel easy before I change anything up. So I'm going in front of the eye. So see right there where she kind of runs through it. There we go. Oh, there we go. So I would like to have done it a little bit more at the wall before I intentionally move her up to a trot. It's okay if she trots. She can trot if she wants to trot, but I'm not going to ask for any more energy till we can consistently do this in a slower speed. Get in front of the eye. Nice. Well done. Really just looking for her comprehension, where as soon as I go into that request, she knows exactly what I'm after. So right here. Ah, better, much better. What she was doing before was when I would start to ask, she would kind of go to run through it, kind of take off, sometimes turn towards me or look towards me, and then she would follow on around. Front of that eye. Oh, so nice. Really nice. Yeah, I think this is very backwards to what I would have done earlier on with most Mustangs. I think asking them to turn away from me would have felt like counterproductive. And it didn't feel like what I needed to do the first couple of days. I mean, we're on day 3 now. So she's gotten a little more comfortable with my presence in here. But it does feel like what's asking. Now that was nice. All right, so that one I'm going to let her just soak in for a moment. That was really nice. Really nice. All right, so let's see if we start again where we're at. I'm still getting, see that nose? That nose is your giveaway right there, what she's thinking about. And that's okay. I don't want to avoid having a conversation with her when she's thinking those thoughts. That's actually where I need her to be when we have a conversation. I need her to be in that place where she is asking that question and thinks she already knows the answer, which is to push towards me. But now we have a little bit more of a little bit more clarity around when I bring that wall in front of her and what that means. She's settling into that at the walk, nice and relaxed. Yeah. So that's very well done. So I feel like if I step on up, if I ask her for a little more forward, I feel like it's very likely that that energy is going to take her to a place where she's going to get chargy again. But I feel like we have the tool we need to work through that. I feel like it's a good time to kind of meet her at that place. So I'm just going to ask for a little bit more forward. Nice. I'm not asking her to maintain, I'm just asking for that little kind of leap forward. I want her to keep tracking this way. Much better. So you can see how now she has this constant thought that maybe she should turn away. That's a good thought to have. It's a healthy road to live at this intersection where there will be another thought that says dive in. Nice. All right, ask her to turn from just right here. Yeah, well done. Well done. All All right, so that was another dive in towards me. So I'm just gonna push her back away. This one, she's this direction right now. She's kind of thinking about turning into the rail the whole time anyway. So I'm not going to ask for that. Actually, I'm going to go to ask, look at that hip and let her draw in. Nice. Nice. Well done. Well done, you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Well done. You notice I'm not doing all the grounding and walking the half circle around her. We have that language now, but in this moment, both of us really benefit from those roots being up and having a conversation there. She's pretty good at dropping, she's really good at dropping those roots down and having a conversation when she's grounded. But then there's only a certain distance that she feels comfortable with me in proximity of her. And when we get closer than that distance, she starts to get really uncomfortable. So I'm not going to ask her to turn away from me if she's consistently already thinking about turning away from me right now. I feel like that's pretty well there in this moment. Let's put a little more forward. Look at the hip and let her draw in. Nice. Now we've kind of switched to asking her to draw, but I'm asking her to draw from a place that she's not at all thinking about turning towards me. Asking her to draw from a place where she's thinking about turning away from me. Nice. Well done. Walk circle is a little, she's not feeling the need to get all the way out to the rail. Feeling a little more comfortable again. We can step back up. Try it. Wow. Look at the hip and draw away from that. That was really nice. That was kind of the first just neutral forward trot I felt. She wasn't looking to turn away. She wasn't looking to come in. She didn't feel concerned. She actually felt pretty soft. And we're tracking right, which might look like left on that screen because I think it's mirrored, but right, we are tracking right, and right has certainly been a little trickier for her. So that is really good. Well done. Yeah. Well done. She is kind of feeling the need to keep her eyes on me a little bit. Okay. Totally okay with that. Mm, nice. And see how she's keeps wanting to get that eye up into the rail, so I kind of can't get over there to push her away. Right there. Not exactly what I'm going for. Nice. I think I'm gonna get her a little off the rail. Nice. And then I am gonna go a little back to this exercise. So I just want to remind her that she doesn't need me to be worried about me being in this right eye. It's okay for me to be over here. Sometimes as we add more language, especially language that involves me using a little pressure to ask her to move, that can feel intimidating. I just want to remind her that it's okay for me to be on this side. Yeah, well done. Very well done. I think I'm going to ask her to walk off from here. Nice. That was nice. So right there, I did ask for a little bit of energy at the shoulder. So sometimes I'm putting a wall in front of her. Sometimes I'm actually directing energy at the shoulder. Nice. Let's see what it looks like. So I still feel like that. See how she kind of peeled off the rail right there? Kind of in a deliberate way. That felt, it's not the same degree as it was before. That's better. But it's just a little bit of that tossing that energy at me kind of feeling. Sometimes that the best way to, if I can, when I feel them toss that energy at me, is for me to basically be unaffected by it. If I need to, then I need to be able to block it. But if I can just kind of hold my own, stay the same, that it didn't cause any change, didn't cause me to move away. There's a little bit of it right there. It's not changing me. It's not making me get bigger with my energy. It's not making me get smaller with my energy. I'm just the same. If I'm able to do that, that's my preference. Sometimes I have to get bigger with my energy, but if I'm able to just be the same, that's my preference. So see that little look over at me? I'm going to ask her to turn. Yep. So see, this time when I'm asking her to turn, she's blowing through it a little faster. I'm not going to ask her harder. I'm just going to, just going to keep asking the same. Let her find the answer. So that's kind of the same thing I was just talking about. Like when she gets confused and she tries to blow through my request, which is what just happened, instead of amplifying my request and blocking her harder, which can be the knee-jerk reaction, I think sometimes, can think that that's what we need to do. But if I'm able to just maintain my ask, so the pressure stays there, she's running through it, but she's not actually making it go away. And then as soon as and it gives her time to think about it, to kind of be at that intersection a little bit and be awake while she's there. So here I'm getting a little bit of the same. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up here. Ah, really nice. Really well done. I think we're lopsided. I think our camera is lopsided. I can fix y'all. This wants to slide on me. There we go. All right, let's see if we can go back up into a little more forward. See what she does with that. Is she going to feel the need to kind of dive in? Nice. Oh, well done. Yeah. Oh, little dive there. I'm gonna, that spot right there where she's diving. There we go. I'm gonna pick that spot and ask her to turn away from me. That spot she's feeling a little extra spicy. This way is actually better right now. Change direction this way. Nice. All right, I'm gonna kind of get her moving out and I'm gonna ask her in that same spot. Right here. Ah, much better. Much better. Well done. Well done. I'm going to let her soak that one for a little bit. That was pretty great. I think I've got to be mindful to not let her get too tired, especially when we're working on things that involve movement like this. Because if she starts to get too tired, she's going to want to, even if she already understands like what I'm asking, and if we've really gotten to a good place, if she starts to get tired, she's going to naturally like fall back into those old patterns. So I don't want her body feeling like it's just begging for her to be done, right? I don't want her to be at that place. So we're going to stop while she still feels fresh.